August is a month of celebration as the Illinois Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity highlight Black-owned businesses across the state. 23 News reporter Alyssa Reamer learns more about the challenges Black business owners face and why the community's support means so much.
Being a business owner is never easy, but one way of helping is to understand the various challenges. To celebrate Black Business Month, the state of Illinois launched a survey to identify roadblocks and get Black business owners on the road to success.
They need to see us come together and do events like this.
Black business owners filled the Stevenson Business Center in Rockford to hear the results of a survey conducted by Matthew Simpson with the Illinois Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity.
I've been presenting some data since February about the state of Black business in Illinois.
This presentation is the latest First Friday event at the center. The goal of the series is to put great minds together to find the keys to success.
It's a networking tool where we can gain information and gain knowledge in our community.
Results of the business owner survey identified some key roadblocks like lack of funding, difficulty attracting customers, and lack of access to affordable spaces.
Those businesses that did not find a way did not survive.
But First Friday leaders and attendees say there's one crucial element they need to thrive: support from the community.
We kind of get left out of things, it's not just Black, it's minorities.
Come together. Rockford is on an economic upswing, and we want to be a part of that. We want to be seen, we want to be heard, we want to show that we're unified for Black economics.
Together, we're able to grow in America because Black business is just a part of American business.
According to Simpson, Black people make up about 14% of Illinois' population, and Black business makes up 11% of businesses in the state.
Simpson also says the largest group of Black business owners is attorneys and professional services at more than 12%. The lowest number of Black-owned businesses is in arts and entertainment at about 6.5%.